What's up, guys? Welcome to the King Closers Formula. I am the King Closer, RJ Bates III, coming to you live today on this beautiful Tuesday afternoon at 2:22 p.m. I'm excited to cover today's topic. But before we do that, who we got with us today? Drop a comment of where you're coming in, where you're tuning in. Let's get into today's topic. The fuck just happened? Where am I?
I see you have lied to us, the man of the people, Mr. Real, Raw, and Transparent. You aren't live, are you?
I mean, technically, no, I'm not live. I pre-recorded this video because I'm in California, but every Tuesday at 2:22 we go live. So, I mean, we just, we scheduled it to go live.
I see. Well, we're gonna play a little game. This game's called Truth or Lie. It's simple. I read you a statement and you tell me if it is a lie or if it is true. If you lie to us, you will be stripped of your title as King Closer and remain trapped in this screen forever.
Man, this whole content creation thing got real serious, real fast. I'm gonna lose my title as King Closer and be trapped in this black abyss forever. Truth or lie? All right, I'm down. I can tell the truth. I mean, except for when I go live.
Okay then. First, truth or lie. Speed to Lead gives you special leads when you go live.
That's a lie. Okay. Speed to Lead does not give me special leads. I've heard this theory before, typically from people that don't know how to close. So no, that's a lie. I go in, I actually purchase the leads live. I've shared my screen. I've shown how I purchased those leads. They're available for anyone. I mean, literally, while I am live, you could be purchasing the exact same leads as me. I think the only reason why this has ever been said is because everyone else that competes against me never goes live and closes sellers. So they have to make up a story. So, no, it's a lie.
Truth or lie. You have protected someone's equity with white gloves before.
I protected some. That's a lie. I've never actually done it. I have done what's called a novation, but I've never actually put on white gloves and walked in and magically protected their equity. I don't know why we started making up names in this industry for just simple things that already had a name. It's like me. I'm RJ. I'm not going to suddenly change my name to Robert John. I'm RJ. So that's a lie. I've done a novation, but I've never actually protected someone's equity with white gloves.
Truth or lie. Belly-to-belly appointments are easier to close than virtually on the phone.
That's a truth. That is a truth. If you are face-to-face with the seller, there is a different level of credibility and rapport that you can build. You can actually see the condition of the property. One of the biggest issues that sellers have with signing a contract with someone virtually is you haven't seen the property. You're going to want to renegotiate the price. How do I know you're real? How do I know you're legitimate? All of those questions really get answered with the in-person appointments. That being said, I can still close more deals virtually than someone that does belly-to-belly appointments because of the efficiency of my business. And so even though it's harder to do virtual over belly-to-belly, I still would rather do that because I can get so many more dials in And if I could develop my skill sets, I can close more deals. So that's a truth. Belly to belly is easier, but it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to make more money.
Truth or lie? If the seller wants close to retail, you should offer creative financing.
That's a lie. First of all, what the fuck is creative financing? Like, someone asked me the other day, hey, can I get a creative finance contract? No, because it doesn't fucking exist. Like, what is it? Are you buying it subject to? Are you doing seller finance? Are you doing a novation? Are you doing a hybrid between sub to and seller finance? What is creative finance? So, should you offer creative finance just because they want close to retail? No, because exit strategy determines your acquisition strategy. All creative finance is a way for you to acquire the deal. So whether or not you're buying it subject to the existing mortgage or they're financing or whatever you're doing, you need to understand what the exit is for either yourself or the end buyer. And then that determines how you acquire the property. Just because they want too much money doesn't mean you offer that as a solution. So, no, it's a lie.
Truth or lie? PPL is expensive compared to other lead generation options.
Wow. Let's go lie. Let's go lie. And here's the reason why. There are budget items out there in the PPO world. We have Speed to Leads Coupon Club. We have Lead Zolo coming out with a new budget item. I've heard rumors it's going to be like $35, $40 for an exclusive lead. Listen, at the end of the day, direct mail has always been the most expensive. And sometimes we have a tendency to forget when we're looking at our budgets. And we say cold calling is the most cost effective because we say, okay, we're going to pull these lists and then we're going to skip trace and then we're going to hire a VA, or maybe we'll just cold call ourselves and we just need a dialer and I can do that for cheaper than PPO. What about the opportunity cost? What about the amount of hours that you sit there looking like Steve Trang's ass, just getting your teeth kicked in all fucking day with no results? What about the opportunity loss? What is more expensive? Give me $25, $29 leads and I get a contract and I make $15,000, or I sit there and I get my reps in cold calling and I never fucking close a deal. Yeah, no, we're going to go lie. I'll take PPL.
Truth or lie? You have used a fake underwriter before.
Man, I don't really like where this game's going. I don't know who you are, but you're a bastard. Okay? It's truth. Use a fake underwriter one time. One time I did it, and I just did it to show how stupid it is, how ridiculously dumb it was. I talked to a highly motivated seller, and that woman, I could not solve her problem because I had to sit there and pretend that Billy the Kid was the problem solver, the decision maker. She hung up on me. She never answered the phone. She never called me back. And she probably got fucked over by some wholesaler that filed a memorandum on her house. Yeah, I use a fake underwriter. It's ridiculously stupid. I hate it. Literally, it's one of the worst things that's ever been introduced to our industry. And I will argue with anyone that believes in doing that bullshit. So, yes, it's the truth. I have done it, but it was for educational purposes only, and that is the truth.
Truth or lie? You can wholesale a property that needs little to no work.
Truth. Yeah. I mean, what is wholesaling? Wholesaling is we are getting a property for a discount, and then we are selling it to an end buyer so that they can either make a profit or keep it with equity and or cash flow. So there's never been a need for the property to be physically distressed. Of course, that helps It helps us find people that would be motivated to sell a property for a discount, of course. But when you scroll on Instagram and you're just trying to find how do I wholesale, you'll see all of these reels where people say, you go find a house that looks like this, and it's like the ugliest house ever. And it's like, well, yeah, that could be the one that you wholesale. But we have wholesaled hundreds of houses that were in next to perfect condition because of a financial distress element, or maybe the property was inherited by the sellers and they just want to get rid of it. In fact, one of the best strategies that you could do right now, specifically in virtual wholesaling, is to get a property in pretty decent condition and then wholesale it to someone that specializes in wholesaling, like a Travis Wells. Hey, I want it at 70% below market value, and I want to be able to make a minimum of $30,000 as long as it closes in less than 60 days. Boom, it's a great deal.
Truth or lie, you don't need to know how to comp and underwrite, just lowball.
Yeah, it's a lie. I hate the term lowball. I don't know where it came from. And this whole theory that we don't need to know how to comp and underwrite, and we could just take like Zillow's estimates and Redfin estimates and all this and just throw it in there, or just look and say, hey, we're in a $200,000 neighborhood, offer $50,000. If we do that enough times, some shit will stick against the wall. Sure, yeah, that might happen. We call that the highly motivated, right price sellers. That's about 1% of the sellers that you'll talk to on inbound leads. So it's few and far between. It's not really a sustainable business model, so that's a lie.
Truth or lie, you need to have a multiple step process when trying to close a seller.
Oh, yeah, that's a lie. I mean, listen, when you're on the phone with sellers, your intention should be to close the deal. To close. That's what closers close. If someone told me, RJ, you're going to call these sellers and you're going to have 3 steps, I'm going to be honest with you, I would not work for that person. I would look at them and I would say, you're a damn fool. I'm not going to do that, because when I talk to sellers, I'm there to solve their problem. The one thing that makes them skittish and feel like you can't solve their problem is when you say, I got to get off the phone and I got to figure out how to be a problem solver. Like, no, I'm a fucking expert. I don't need to go talk to anyone else. I don't need any time. I do this all day long and I know exactly how to do it. So for the people that go out there and they teach this multiple step process, it's fucking bullshit and we don't need it. You just need to train people better. You need to train people on how to comp, underwrite, understand the exit strategies, understand the acquisition strategies, and know how to close. If you know how to do that, well, that's how you earn the title of King Closer.
Truth or lie, you need to buy mentorship to succeed in wholesaling.
That's a lie. You don't need to buy mentorship. There's been plenty of people out there that have succeeded in the wholesaling industry without having a mentor. And listen, the education's out there for free. You don't need to give me a fucking penny to learn everything that I teach. You can go watch my YouTube videos just like you're watching right now. Thousands of them every single day. I mean, we are literally pumping out shit every day, so you don't need to pay me. Now, if you want to fast forward the process, figure out answers to your questions on a daily basis, understand how to truly implement the education that we're providing to you, then you need to hire a mentor. That will fast forward the process, but no, you don't need to hire one. And I think it comes down to your personality type. Like, do you want to sit there and learn from someone else? Or are you more of the type of person that will take action, fail, come up with solutions, and then implement that solution and learn on your own? If that's the case, you probably definitely don't need a mentor.
Truth or lie, Closers Olympics was rigged and your belt hold no weight and carry no water.
Oh, yeah, that's a lie for sure. I've seen this. Every time someone mentions my name on a podcast or on YouTube videos or whatever, it gets sent to me hundreds of times, and I love it. I've seen, Pace has said stuff, Jamil said stuff, Eric Klein, he's obsessed. Tiffany, she dreams about me at night. I get it. These people, they care so much about the fact that I won a competition that they were too afraid to even compete in. And then they want to say it was faked and it was rigged because I won it twice. Well, the only time it was faked and rigged was the first year when Carlos Reyes was the judge, and then he literally cheated so his brother-in-law and acquisitions manager could win it. That's verified. That's not theory, okay? It's like verified, that actually happened. The next two times, it wasn't faked and rigged. In fact, 2023, when I was going for back-to-back, I got the worst position you could get on Saturday. I was calling at Saturday night at like 7 p.m. And I actually got asked, RJ, I know that we did the spinning of the wheel. Do you want to move it up so you're in a better time so we don't screw you over? And I said, no. What's fair is for me to call in the worst position. I'm okay with it because I trusted my training and the reps and the skills that I've developed over the years. So I said, no, I don't want that. I got the same types of leads as everybody else. There was nothing that was rigged about it. The scoring was valid. The contracts were real. I dispoed the deals using Investor Lift with Eric's best friend, Bobby Winsley, live. And I still get told it's fake. Now, as far as the belts not carrying any weight or water or whatever it is that they say, why do you care so much? Why do you care about me? Unless I'm impacting you and your business in a negative way. My suggestion would be, stop worrying about me, start worrying about yourself. Do this. Be better. If you're better, you wouldn't give a shit about what wrestling belts I wear, whatever competitions I compete in, and the invitation is always open. To any of you that want to talk trash all the time, you can come compete whenever you want. Invitation.
Well. You have been deemed worthy to keep your title as King Closer and return to the land of wholesaling.
Okay, so it feels good. The fact that apparently I was a liar because I said I was live today, but I'm actually in California. And I'm sorry, I'm just serving my people. So I'm glad that I get to remain King Closer. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I think this is a video. I'm just ready to get back to my desk. See you guys tomorrow.